There's
We're
live.
back.
What's up, everybody? Boy, Kim, Paula Champion with us tonight.
Hey, Paula.
Hola,
Hey,
amiguitos.
Paula.
Somebody
Hola.
give the lady some love.
Yeah.
What's up, Paula?
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Dathan Thigpen,
Hello.
David Michael Wyatt.
What's up, everybody?
Okay, listen, we weren't here last week. Can we get a 30-second recap of these duets from last week? What do you guys think about it?
Great idea. Great idea. I love the duet idea, man. It was really good. Very great spin to the show. It was really good. The ones I didn't get to see all of them, unfortunately, but the ones that I did see, they were pretty decent.
I only got to see two. And the two that I saw were good. They were polar opposites, actually. One was really churchy, and the other one was very
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're all cool. It was just that interesting one with the girl, y'all gotta help me remember her name, that didn't do too well at all, and then Candace Amundson, who did really good. It's that challenge of being in a duet where somebody is kind of
Killing you?
yeah, but they both made it through. I guess I don't know if there was a deal. What got me was the elimination. So did you? Okay, so who got eliminated on that?
The eliminations were tonight, huh? Or were the eliminations last week?
There were eliminations both weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, basically, it was elimination. Like honestly, just based on that performance alone, what is her name? The one who sang with Candace. I forget what tonight she sang the Molly Music song, I think.
Beautiful.
Anita. She, don't get me wrong, and tonight she did great. We'll talk about that. But last week it was just not good.
Wait, Anita.
I don't know what happened. Something happened. It was just a disconnect. But I was very shocked that they kept her. Maybe they, want to see stuff out.
I was too. It was a rough kind of smash up though, because also the lady who sang with Serena Young has a great voice, but she just didn't stay with her on that churchy duet they gave him. I don't know.
I think she did well. I was shocked to see her go home.
She has a great voice.
Yeah, I was kind of sad to see her go. But overall, it was a great show. That opener, I'm still talking about it.
Come on, write my name. Yolanda is always going to win for me for having such great ad-libs.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was unfortunately, that was the highlight of the show. It should be about the contestants, but that was the highlight.
Speaking of openers, Erica Campbell opened up this week's episode. What did you guys think about it?
I'd give Eddie a thumbs up. Like, she did really good. I liked it.
She did well.
I was really glad that she chose that song too, because that's I don't know, I may be a little biased, but that's my joint. I was really glad that she chose that song.
No, it was great. Like she's a class act, man. I like what she's bringing to gospel music now. It's different. It's her. It fits her. Fits her like a glove. She has a blessing in her husband because he pulls the best out of her.
Yes, sir.
And I thoroughly enjoy her now. I mean, she never ceases to amaze me now.
It's a great positioning that he's
it is.
Okay, let's start off with tonight's performances. First up this evening was it was Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's the man in my opinion. He's the best male on here, if not the best on the season.
Jeffrey is consistent from what I've seen and heard. He's very consistent. He's from my hometown, actually. So I will give him hometown love 100%. But he's very consistent. He's clear about what he's created to do, if that makes any sense. And that comes out in his performance.
Mm-hmm. Love it. I love it. He's like she said, I agree. He's consistent. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's watched, I don't know, this is just me and how I look at it. He's watched the seasons prior to. He's perfected this thing. So he's excelling. He's done his homework, and church comes natural for this guy. So he's winning all the way around the board.
Yeah, I think you can tell that he's a church boy, and he has been doing this for a long time. And I mean, it was a solid performance. He's comfortable with what he's doing. It worked for him.
Yeah.
I think so, and not just church, but he's real ministry minded in his approach and in his delivery. So I think it's good stuff. Okay, now What about this disco arrangement of Holding Member?
This house
Of
version.
which one?
This dance version.
With all of nothing.
Donna Summers.
I think if she executed it physically, she would have been fine.
Yeah.
It was the disconnect. That's all.
It took her completely out of her comfort zone. Completely, like all the way out. She tried though. I do give it to her. She did try.
I liked her at the top of it, but once that rhythm started and the tempo picked up, and it was just,
It was weird for me. Like it was really weird. I love that song. I sing that song, and I worked with that song in church. So I'm very familiar with the song in a lot of ways. But it was just like once they hit that beat, I'm like, what just happened here? Oh my God! And honestly, like it takes a special person to take an arrangement like that. I doubted if she came up with it. But it takes a person like that who takes an arrangement like that and just kind of make it work. And so I felt that disconnect. I disconnected from it.
Yo, but Yolanda's comment, she said
you were brave.
She said, and then she was like, when the beat changed, and it was just like, whoa, cool. I felt like she was just lost for words. Like she didn't know what to say.
and like you said, Nathan, I don't think it's almost not fair. Like it's a better arrangement because they're trying to give you something that fits your voice, but that just didn't work.
It did not work. And honestly, she did the best she could with it, but it was.
But did you see her kind of get off on her? Like she was thrown off.
Yeah.
That's so hard in the moment.
Definitely disconnected from that.
Okay, we can go on and on about every single performance, and we'll probably revisit some of the other ones. What performance stood out to you this evening?
Candace Amundson.
The Crucified, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, why?
The song took a life of its own.
Yes, Lord.
And she did not try. I mean, she's what, 22?
Yeah.
Right? She's a baby. But she didn't overstate. You know what I mean? She didn't overstate, and she didn't understate it. She did well for her moment, I think, for that song.
I really think she is somebody to watch in this competition. I really, really do. Like, she is solid every single time. Like, she's anointed. She's sincere about what she's doing. That song was great. It was flawless to me. Like, first of all, I already love the song, but she nailed it. She brought the passion to it. She brought color to it. She knows exactly what to say, how to do it. I mean, that was definitely the standout for me this week.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm watching this young lady, Candace Amundson. I don't know. She might be one to watch, seriously.
Good. I think she almost got to the border for me of turning the CCM song way over into the gospel side, but it's tough to not do that on a Sunday best kind of show. But
sure.
She went right to the border, and she came back, and I was like, I appreciate it.
That's what I was going to say. I absolutely loved her interpretation of this song for this show. She did exceptionally well. I felt like she was a little nervous. Of course, they're all nervous, so I don't take away by any means for that. But I could kind of hear her nervousness at the top of her song. Yeah. But yeah, I loved it, hands down.
Yeah. That's definitely the standout for tonight.
Yeah, with her nervousness, I even think she did the right things on those opening lines by shortening, like not trying to. Because we had a couple. Who was Kim talking to? Brittany Jones, like hum your way in and land your pitch, you know. And that kind of thing. And I don't know if it worked for her live, but Brittany Jones, her last name Jones, yeah, she looked amazing. She looked. She
was very pretty. She was beautiful. And again, I think I don't know if we're veering off into this or not, but I think she did a really good job for her cadence. And to hear, I need you to go churchy next time.
Right.
Made me sad for her. Because it will ultimately take her off of her game.
Out of her element.
Out of her element.
Yes, absolutely. Make her feel pressure of performing and not being authentic, which I think you can do both.
Listen, I love you.
But if someone's telling you to do something else, then it just takes you off your game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those things, and honestly, on my season, it kind of happened to me, where I was in my element, and then Kim was like, hey, let's switch it up, let's see another side of you, and then it made me get in my head. what may happen for Britney in this sense, if she tries to do a churchy song, she may be too much in her head, and it may be the demise of her on this show.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's kind of scary to see what's going to happen because she had a solid performance. It was great. Mm-hmm. It was really solid. It was, it worked. I mean,
yes, man, that's what I was about to say. It worked. It worked, and it's gospel. It's gospel music, man. It worked. It worked.
Jason, I remember you very much with all your hair and everything, and I was so.
Dread.
How you doing? I love the hair, honey. But I was so thankful to see you come out with your hair and not be flying all over the stage. I think there's a place for that. I love it. I'm born and raised in the church conventions. Get it, got it. I'm there. But there was something very refreshing about it. And I think I remember telling you that like the first time we interacted on maybe Twitter or something, I was a fan because you just kind of flat-foot stood there.
And
sang your song.
But more than he communicated.
In full worship, though, and that's my point. Worship is there's no disconnect from the horizontal to the vertical, and it was felt. There were a couple other people
I was literally asked from the mentor to take my hair down and bang, like go there, and it was really uncomfortable to think about that. And I was literally in my head thinking
pineapples.
But I can relate to this young lady because you're funny, Paula. I can relate to this young lady because I hope she's not. I hope somebody shows her this and don't get in your head. No, you can't do that. But either way, I hope she doesn't get in her head. I hope she doesn't, take that and go around. It's going to be interesting to see if she goes home next week.
But you know what? Whatever they tell her.
Go ahead. Paula?
I want to find my words. Whatever they tell her. I see you smiling, David.
Sorry.
Because this is the truth. I mean, it happened to all of us who are contestants. Whatever they tell her, she will bear the responsibility of her choice. Yes. And she can stand there and do it or not. Yep. And she'll question whatever she does. Because that's the adrenaline of a show like this. You're going to question, did I do enough of this? Did I not do enough of that? Did I say this right? Did I step this way? Ricky Bobby, what do I do with my hands? Talladega Nights, like, what do we do? But at the end of the day, she will be responsible for her performance. Yeah. And she'll walk away, and eventually it'll settle, and she'll learn from it either way. Either way, she'll be fine.
I got a question for you all. It's a two-part question. A, you spoke about someone being in their heads tonight, and it seemed like Anita Johnson in this performance was really in her head and not really expressing. I've never been on a show of this magnitude, so I don't know how that feels to be given something that is very popular right now, the Molly music vibe, the whole thing is really popular. And then it seemed like she tripped. Did she trip in her shoe? Did she trip over her shoes, or was that?
I didn't see that.
I didn't see the
trip. I just felt like she was extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it was just really awkward.
Was that the really pretty
yes.
light young
yes.
lady?
Yes. Your sister. Yes.
My sister? How you doing? Hey, girl.
No, I really feel like she wasn't. I think you hit it on the nail. She was in her head. And I think she's trying to really find herself in this competition. And unfortunately, this is not the time in the competition to be doing that.
Right.
She's developing still and not really competing. She's developing, and that's kind of an issue at this point in the game. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't think she would make it to this day, and maybe she didn't. Maybe she's in her head because of that. But I think she sounded great, especially compared to last week. But it was an awkwardness on the stage. I felt like she was in her head. It was just kind of weird.
And we never know what happened behind the scenes to the other contestants. Mm-hmm. Even when you're among the contestants, you don't always know. And what may fuel one person may trip up the next person. So exactly. I agree with Dathan 100%. It felt like something triggered the trip, whatever that trip was, and it tripped her. She may not have fallen.
Okay, fair enough.
But mentally she fell.
Got a question
Yeah.
from Twitter. Marcus McNeely wants to know from you guys, do you think that there is a lack of passion from the singers, the contestants overall in this season, or is it just that the crowd is less responsive this year? Because so far we haven't seen the crowd be too moved until someone hollers.
I think you said there it is. Until someone hollers. For me,
That's a great question, though.
that is.
And honestly, the fact that he asked that lets you know there is something, there is an element that's missing that people are looking for. And it's hard to say, you ain't anointed, you are good, but you don't want to do that. But at the same time, in gospel music, it does involve passion and some elements that obviously the judges are looking for. I remember at the beginning of this season, Kiki, and they were talking about, everybody can sing. They keep saying that everybody can sing. Everybody can sing gospel, but where's the power behind it, the authority? So that's obviously what they're looking for. And I believe at the end of this competition, that's still, and I said that last time, that they're looking for that person who not only can sing, all of them can sing clearly, but who can sing, who can bring that passion, probably who can even holler too. They want somebody who can do all of that. And there is kind of a disconnect, I think, a bit with the passionate side of some of the singing. And I'm going to actually go out on a limb and talk about D'Angelo. D'Angelo is great. This brother can sing, hands down. And that's one thing they've been dealing with. Is his passion and bringing it forward, and you can tell he kind of came out, and Yolanda was kind of praising him for really opening up and singing, talking about the song, not just singing it, but becoming that song. And you can see him opening up a bit with that, talking about his wife.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think he had a good performance in terms of his ad-libs were good, which I'm sure is what Yolanda picked up on because she's a person of great ad-libs.
Man, she's got the best ad-libs ever.
He's one of my favorites. Fred Hammond also has the way he in the studio writes them and tells a story with him. Him and Kim Rutherford are favorites of mine. You're right, but he doesn't seem to be getting the praise that everyone else is getting, if that makes sense. Is it just me? D'Angelo doesn't seem to be.
No, that's the way. I feel the same way. I noticed that, but I think that is why. I think they got you had me at hello. Basically, when you say you got me, you good. You clearly are good. Now let's see this is gonna help you get to the end of the show. We need more passion. He could clearly sing, so I think they understand, they respect him as a singer, as an artist, but they want to see more from him. And I think he's trying to slowly pull it out, but he has to honestly bring it at this point because
the show
really
just moves too fast for you to kind of pace yourself. You have
it does. You can't really be developing. You gotta whatever they're looking for. You got to go ahead and get it and make sure it's seen, or
at least be comfortable enough in who you are in that space.
Right. And I mean, I think even the most, because I saw, and I could be wrong, and maybe this is a side conversation he'd be willing to have. I don't know if this is something he'd be willing to say, openly. But I watched him. Let me just say this: even some of the best singers can be thrown off their game in a moment between that S and that, what is it, T?
FMT.
On that platform.
Oh.
Best.
Oh.
Because they make you stand in between both. But
No, but they only made us do that. They didn't make everybody do that.
I saw that, but anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the time, the light is red and they're like, go, I saw him faint. And you don't know what brought him to that fainting. Again, he must have gotten in his head. He was trying to do maybe more, or he didn't feel valid. You never know what's going on in a contestant's head. But I did see him faint. And even the best contestant, as ready as you are, as developed as you are in those moments, man, if you get in your head at any given time, it's like an athlete or anything else. You'll blow it.
I got a question. So are you guys saying that you don't feel like this guy is executing vocally, or you just saying the thing that he's lacking is passion?
I think everyone's saying that we think he's better than what we're seeing, maybe.
I only saw him once. I've heard his recordings, so I can't speak to anything else. I'll just say tonight,
He got weary in well doing. We got it.
He did. And it wasn't because he didn't sing well. It's because there was something behind his eyes. If that makes
Okay,
that's a moment
okay,
talking.
got you.
Behind his eyes.
I'm with it now. Okay, I got it.
And in answer to the young man's question on Twitter, though, the audience responses, we're talking about a gospel show. They want to holler. They want it. And so you're going to probably have to give them a good holler or a very sober, sincere worship moment. It's going to be one of the two that are going to get people to,
Let me ask you this question. Speaking of the two spectrums of a good church number or a worship moment, Tequila Wilson got Uphold Me from Ron Winans. And first of all, to edit that song down to the 90 seconds or the 60, whichever it was today, I felt like it wasn't fair. She didn't get a chance to really jump in, or should she have just gone for the jugular? Is it me? Am I wrong?
No, I won't say the time, because, I mean, they kind of know the time restraint. So I think with her, it's weird because you got Kim saying, be laid back. And that's going to be the challenge in this competition, always. When you have your mentor telling you one thing, your judges are pulling from you, and then you're all over, and you have what you want to do.
Somewhere in the middle.
All these ideas all in your head. That's how people, like I believe Anita, is in her head, because you have all these people telling you things, and you got to figure out what's going to work and what works best for you. And I think for this particular song, I love this song. It's a classic song, and she told her to be laid back. I think that was a great idea. I like the laid backness of it. Don't get me wrong. I think she was maybe a little bit too laid back, which is kind of what Kiera was saying. Bring me more, but that's what Kim told her.
Yeah.
So what do you do in that position where
because you want to please your mentor, and you want to please the judges, and you want to please yourself.
And your mentor is Kim Burrell.
Right.
Right.
It's like you wanted to do the best that you can, but once you get to that drive, I really felt like she should have jumped in. But like you said, she's been told something else. Okay, let's wrap up tonight by saying, okay, we've already said Candace Benson is one to watch. Who else for you all is someone to watch on this show?
Jeffrey.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey is, I guess, I would say Jeffrey too. One reason I would say Jeffrey is because he's at this point has no negative feedback at all.
Right.
He pretty much has solid performances up to this point. He's definitely one to watch. But I'm really saying Candace, because Candace has really been blowing me away. And so I would say Candace, Jeffrey. Well, I'm just going to stick with those two right now.
I haven't seen it enough to say, and I don't want to speak out of term. I'll say based on what I did see, I would love to see is it Brittany
Jones?
Yeah, I knew I was going to say Brittany. I do. I want to see where she goes. I want to see, because she's not going to pull out the churchy. To me, she's one to watch.
She's one to watch.
Brittany's
one to watch.
She's saying Open My Heart Tonight. I mean, Still I Rise?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Yolanda song.
Yeah, she's definitely one to watch if she makes sure she, like you said, Paula, makes the right choices. If she makes the right choices, and because, I mean, she can decide to go churchy, and that may not work for her. Or she can decide to do something that works for her, and it doesn't matter if it was churchy or not. What works, works. You'll feel
I
it.
like that. That's very good.
That's excellent. Yeah, I like that too.
That's a good way to end. Thanks for joining us, everyone, this week, and thank you, Paula, for joining us newly.
Thank y'all for having me.
Hey, Paula.
Was that a country twang you put on there?
It was from Atlanta, Georgia Peach. Thank y'all. With a Lakers hat on.
Recap on the next episode of Sunday Best Season 7. You can hit everyone up. Dathan is Dathan Thigpen on Twitter. David is David Michael 77 Twitter. Paula is Paula Champion. Is there an underscore somewhere in there?
Yeah, Paula_Champion.
There it is. And I'm Ken Mose. DeWard Davis hopefully will be back with us next week. He's traveling. He's out on the field winning the loss.
Come on.
Praise him. Praise his life.
Come on here.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Good night.